Yeah, but why do you still play online? That's what I always ask everybody. Why do you still play if you are not sure if this title Tuesday is? I see sometimes you post something that you lost a game to some to some not very strong player, but you've gotten wiped out. What's the purpose of playing? It's like the community thing, or what's the idea?
Well, when it comes to like the rapid events, those I'm taking seriously. Like I'm trying to do well. And I don't know how prevalent cheating is. Like for sure, let's say we look at Champions Chess Tour last year. There were definitely some players cheating. I don't know the number. I don't know. Maybe it was like 0.5%. This was all like cameras and everything. So let's say the strictest measures that chess.com offers. So Title Tuesday is like nothing, right? I mean, no cameras. Nothing.
Yeah.
The online rapid events, of course, there's some measures. These I try to take seriously because I assume that if I play a cheater, it probably won't be too often. It's like it might ruin my tournament, but still, I do have a chance. And I was trying to win those events. Like I got to the final 8. I did my best. I lost to Magnus, but I did take those as like very serious competitive tournaments. When it comes to Title Tuesday, I basically just can't help myself. Like I understand I'll probably be playing like each Title Tuesday a minimum of 2 cheaters, like absolute minimum.
That's what you think, yeah?
I'm almost 100% convinced that I will play a minimum of 2 cheaters, unless I'm very lucky and I just avoid them somehow. And that's, by the way, not assuming like the guys who are like regular people I assume or suspect are regular cheaters. Like those guys you basically can't avoid. But they might not cheat against you also, so you can kind of take your chances there.
But it's very odd for me, you know. So you know that there are cheaters, you know that they could spoil your mood or just take your money. I mean, I understand it's not like money, it's not like we're talking about millions of dollars, but still. And but also your feeling. I mean, and also we have some players that let's name the fact that everybody knows that they're cheating, and we're still playing them. I mean, that's something that really surprises me, really amazes me.
Well, if I don't play, it doesn't help the situation. If I do play, it at least gives me a better idea of like what's going on. And of course, it does spoil my mood, but usually for a very short period of time. I get angry for 10 minutes. Like last Title Tuesday, I lost, I think, 3 games from 6 or something like that. I left the tournament because it was kind of pointless. And I was out. Every once in a while, I do actually play well, and I get some small prize money, which is of course not my like ultimate goal to make like $100, $300 or whatever.
Sure.
But those actually give me a good mood. Like, okay, I got 2nd place in this minefield. It's actually an accomplishment. The last time I won one was like, I don't know, a year ago or something. I'm not exactly sure.
Where do you stand on really on Kramnik position? Like if we say that Kramnik is 100% saying about cheaters, about the online world, that like I don't know, every other player is a cheater, like everything he said on my channel, your channel. Like, where do you stand now on this? Are you getting closer to his measures, or you're going down?
Well, I think there's 2 measurements. One is, let's say, is he right in his conclusion, and is he right in his analysis? So he could be completely right in his conclusion, but his analysis could be all off. And I think that's actually very likely, because one problem that he has is that he really trusts the chess.com accuracy scores.
Yes.
And I don't, I think we spoke about this also. I spoke about this with him. Like, I don't think that this metric, it's helpful, it's a tool, but I don't think that we should really be making conclusions off of that. But his conclusion about that there's like massive cheating problem, I don't know what his number is of how many cheaters or how often they cheat, but of course that's correct. I mean, this we're on the same page. The question is like, what can you actually do about it? Because of course, you can kind of post about it online, but if you post just like accuracy scores, I don't see what it says. Like, it doesn't convince me of anything. Like, if you post the accuracy scores of some player, I don't get convinced that that player was cheating in that event. I think that, of course, like if it's an extreme example, let's say like some player has 98% chess.com accuracy in every game. Okay, this is impossible in Title Tuesday. But I've very often seen that the games that I consider good, like when I analyze them, are valued at like 89% accuracy, and the games which I consider kind of uneventful or even sometimes not very good could be 92% accuracy.
Sure.
Because whatever it measures, I don't fully know, and I don't think that it's indicative of the level of play. And also because if I really want to cheat, I can lower my accuracy, and I promise it would be very easy to do this. I could lower it to whatever I want. I could incorporate blunders, and as long as I just keep control of the game, which I would be able to do by using a computer, I can make the game as bad as possible and still beat someone, just because I make it super complicated in a position where everyone will blunder on every move. Like if you can steer the game in any direction, it's more or less like kind of painting a picture, right? You're the artist, and your opponent is some sort of subject. They don't have any control over what you're doing. So if I really wanted to cheat, then you would never tell by accuracy scores. Maybe you would be able to tell by, for example, like how good I play in critical moments. Like, am I able to kind of, when only one move is winning, am I able to find that move? Things like that. I mean, we would go deeper into kind of some metrics of my games or someone else's games. But like playing a super accurate draw, okay, like what does that really mean? Or like a super dry game that ends in 95% accuracy. I might not even win this game, right?
Yeah. But what can we do? What can chess.com do? Because we think that at some point I talked to Eric. I made an interview with Eric, and I think they're trying to do something. But as long as I think about it, the more I think about it, I understand that it's so easy to cheat. It's almost like if you have enough brain and you have enough chess quality, like to understand what is going on the board, it's like almost impossible to catch it.
Yeah, it's difficult to catch it over the board. Now, online, I think it's impossible. I mean, because what they do to detect over the board cheating is they're like they're using thermal scanners. They're using some scanner which detects if something on you is conducting an electrical current. Things like that. I mean, a camera is not enough. They have nobody that can check what's on someone's person. Like, let's say some sort of device which is giving an indication of a move. It could be in my pocket if I'm playing online. I mean, even with cameras, it could be just a blind spot of the room, which is the most basic way, right? If we're not even using some technology, right? Just my friend is just holding up a sign with the move, and the camera doesn't show that part of the room.
Yeah, a lot of ways.
A million ways. Yeah. So, can their algorithm detect cheating over a long period of time from a grandmaster who knows how to make it look as natural as possible? I would suspect like no chance. And especially the stronger it gets, the stronger the player gets. Because at some point we go into players like, let's say Magnus level or Hikaru or Jan level, players who can actually play perfect chess on occasion. Not all the time, but they can play perfect chess on occasion. So then they play a perfect game and you think, well, is this a cheater?
What is going on now?
Or is this just a top player, right? So, and then they actually have results over the board and online. So you don't see like a huge difference, like a slight difference maybe. And then we're like, okay, well, they got informed, they improved their results a tiny bit. And this happens all the time over the board, right? Like my results were bad. And then last year they got better. Hikaru's results in 2019 were bad. And then in 2020, 2021, they got better. So what are you going to say, that players can't improve? So of course, when it's a top player, like there's no chance. You basically need to have, like someone in the room, a proctor. And you'll never be able to tell, as far as I can see from statistical analysis or analyzing whatever algorithm they have. What they can do, it would not relate to top players. That's hopeless. They could implement like really strict punishments. So at least they dissuade people from trying.
Yeah,
Like
that's what they should do. Yeah.
I think so. I've told them as well that I think that right now, what's the punishment? You get banned privately.
No punishment.
Yeah,
at all.
You don't return
basically.
any money, and then you re-enter the chess scene as though you never left. Maybe some people know or suspect, but do they really know for sure? And it's not really public. So I think what they probably should do is, like, I don't know if lifetime ban is too strong, but one thing I suggested to them was a lifetime ban until they return the money. So as fast as you return the money, you can play the very next day. But you have
all money that you won on the platform.
Yeah, or if they know exactly where you cheated, then they can kind of gauge that. But I would actually assume, since you can't know exactly where they cheated, then you would probably have to assume all the money that they won. For some people, it's actually hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like there are players who have won that much, and even from players I suspect, there are definitely tens of thousands have been won. And the other thing is just not to have like a money thing, but okay, you're banned for like 2 years. You can't play on our platform, and then after 2 years, we'll give you an account back, and it's also public, so people know. That's pretty strict as well. It could be 2 years. It could be whatever you think. I think for Feller it was more than 2 years, like when Feller cheated at the Olympiad.
On the Olympiad, yeah.
But definitely you can't have like anonymous ban from prize events. You can very often still play on the site, and if you confess, then at some point you're let back on and nobody knows, and you don't have to pay any money back. Okay, I don't think that this is a real punishment.